Okay, we're going to talk money with you this morning. I'm sure money is top on your mind because if you were invested in the stock market at all, some mornings you wake up and you're feeling pretty good, and then the next day you're feeling kind of low. So Jay and Brittany Hagee are back on the show. They have Alon Planning Partners. They get it. They're hearing about it, and this morning they're going to offer a little bit of advice. So good to see you both.
Good to see you as well.
So we talked a little bit off camera, and you said your word, Brittany, was it's all about positioning.
Right. Positioning is paramount, and it's funny that you kind of introed it that way because we were talking recently about roller coasters and kind of our favorite roller coasters and experiences we've had. And how, I mean, that really links to the market volatility we have been experiencing and how it impacts us and how when we are on these rides, okay, for me, I'll just tell you, it's Guardians of the Galaxy is like my favorite roller coaster ride. It's a blast, incredible, incredible ride. But when I get off of it, I feel queasy. I feel a little sick, I'm a little shaken, I'm a little, dizzy. It's kind of the same way with our market accounts, right? If we're constantly looking and fixated at that and looking at the ups and the downs and riding the big dips and the high highs, we're going to feel that. The problem with that is that kicks us into this emotional response to investing instead of a very strategic and structured response, which we should have to be positioned properly.
Okay, so let's give a scenario. Y'all know I love scenarios. So somebody's already with you. If they've been with you for a while, then from that first time in the door, they're consulting with you and you're hearing what their wishes are and you're kind of implementing it. But suppose they thought they could handle more risk than they could, right? They're queasy.
Yeah. Well, it's up to us to kind of help direct that, right? Because it's about their season of life. Because volatility is a natural part of market cycles. You're going to have volatility in both directions. The last 2 years, the volatility went to the upside, right? And now we're feeling a little bit to the downside. So you have to make sure that you're diversified and that you're positioned properly for your goals that you have. So if you're 30, we're going to look at that a lot different than if you're 60, right? Or if you're already in retirement, right? And so we just need to make sure, and it hits those in retirement really hard.
Yeah.
Because when volatility hits, it becomes a threat to survival because I'm taking money now from these accounts. Not just, I can't just ignore it and say it'll come back.
Yeah, let's talk for a minute to the people out there who are maybe 5 years shy of retirement and then into retirement. First of all, if you're already retired, you should be hopefully having a lot of your investments coming in through dividends.
Well, this is where true diversification comes into play, right? Ensuring that you are truly diversified. And a lot of folks, well, what does that actually mean? That sounds great in theory. Yeah, it can mean a lot of things. But really, there's 5 asset classes. And it's about ensuring that you are diversified within 5 asset classes. So cash, stocks, bonds, commodities, and real estate. Those are the 5 core. What we see happen all too often is folks will say they're diversified, but they will be diversified in 10 or 20 different mutual funds or holding 20 or 30 different equities, right? So there is diversification within each subset, but we're talking about the broad diversification, which reduces your risk.
But if you're in or near retirement, you want to also make sure you have a withdrawal strategy. So like you should have 3 risk buckets of money. You should have a no risk bucket, you should have a midterm risk bucket, and a long-term growth bucket. So it's okay if you've got that third bucket seeing 20% gains, 20% drops, right? It's okay, you don't freak out if all of your money isn't doing that, right? You should also have a short-term basket that if you're taking income from, that you know this money is only growing at a fixed rate of return and I can draw from this, or when the market's doing really well, I can draw from this other bucket that is actually growth-oriented.
The old New England principle of don't touch the principal, right? Keep the principal. Now, what about that book y'all have? Do y'all still have that? Because is that a great way to kind of get a 101 on this conversation?
It's a great overall. It's the Alon approach, and it's our approach to comprehensive financial planning. So it really breaks down all 5 components of comprehensive planning, which is not just investment management. That's where a lot of times we can get stuck in thinking that's the core of it all. That's where we begin, but it's also tax planning. It's also healthcare. It's also estate planning. There's all these other components that come into play.
So when you come in for a complimentary consultation, we give these books away. We give these books for free for those that come in.
And I will say this too, you heard Jay mention if you're 30, you're in one scenario, if you're 65, a different one. Unlike a lot of firms, wherever you are, if you're earning money, they want to help you. So if you're a younger person and you think, nope, I'm just kind of cynical about this whole thing, don't be, because they can help you too.
Start now.
Start now.
Start early.
So here's where you could start. Here is their website, alonplanning.com, their phone number 315-1441. They would love to help you. Great to see you.
Great to see you, Julie. Thanks.